Got a couple things I want to talk to you about. We got a Love of the Star. Eric and I put one out today. Love of the Star went through some of these coaches' names and some draft questions and stuff like that. So after our show today, if you don't mind giving Love of the Star a listen, we'd sure appreciate that. And then Wolchuk and I with Aisha Morrison did another episode of The Stack. So kind of get you. We talked about body types today. And when specific players have body types, when scouts let like measurables and numbers get in the way of really good players. So we went through some players in this particular draft. So if you can't give that a listen to.
An all-time objectification of the young men.
Yes, we tried. We did our best. All right, I got a question for you guys, by the way. Dawson, I'm going to start with you. I feel like I'm beating you up today. So
beat it.
Man, you popped my balloon there telling me George Pickens is only worth a single one.
I just, you know what,
I mean, Micah Parsons went for 2 ones.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you.
Both all-pro players.
I don't disagree with you. But
with
Dawson,
1 year of production?
Positional value.
Oh. You traded a 3 for him. I mean,
if that's how the league looks at him, I'll just keep George Pickens. Go ahead and keep undervaluing George. Maybe we will get him for $28 million a year. This is working out great.
Let's make it happen.
I like what you're saying. I have a question because of the last segment we did. We were talking about Schotty, and you guys were the coaching searches and stuff. The question I want to ask you guys, I'll start with you, though, Dawson.
Here we go.
And Eric, you and I talked about this morning, but I want to bring it up to other guys. Do you think Schotty's taken this interviewing process up to a new level as far as going through all these candidates because he got blamed for the You
think he'd be here if Schotty didn't sign off on it?
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that Schotty's like, listen here, you MFers. You can stand up here, and you guys wanted this Matt Eberflus. Even talked about him before I was even hired.
Yeah.
And you MFers and you stand up here and say, well, Schotty signed off on this one. Schotty signed off. Do you think Schotty sat there at that point in time in his life and said, all right, I'm about to show you. I'm about to spend some of your money flying some of these dudes in potential. I know some of them are Zooms, and we'll get the next round will be flying guys. That's when Jerry and Steven will probably meet these guys.
Yeah.
When it turns into, what candidates you want to go. But do you feel like that Schotty has this exhaustive search because he got blamed for the Eberflus stuff?
I think that's a brilliant point. I don't know why you're asking me a question. You should have just said it with your chest and dropped yourself a knowledge bomb there, Brian. I think that's dead balls on right because he wasn't this thorough last year with OC and the other position coaches. I think he has taken it up a notch, and I guess my take on it would be it's another piece of evidence that Schotty is coaching with something to prove, and I think it's the most powerful thing in whatever industry you got. If you got guys that feel like I've been doubted, right? Wait till you see what I do next kind of guys, and it's difficult to stay on that emotional burn level once you get to the top. But I think most of the guys that get to the top, share this characteristic of feeling doubted, feeling overlooked, and then when you sting him right there when everybody's watching while he's sitting next to you, making up lies. I think there's some of this hold my beer and watch what I do next, or hold my Schotty, watch what I do next.
How about that, Wooly? Did Eric and I come up with something today that's worthwhile?
Yeah, I think
he's taking these interviews to another level because he sat there and got blamed for Matt Eberflus getting hired.
I think he would have done this regardless. I think this is just kind of how he is. And if he had the opportunity to do this last year, we would have seen it be conducted in a different manner. But I think that this is kind of how Brian Schottenheimer works. I think that when he said we're going to cast a wide net, we're going to do a thorough search, he meant it. And maybe there is a little bit more of like, I didn't really want Matt Eberflus, and I kind of went with it because it's my first time here, and I didn't want to push back too much. But I really kind of think that this is him doing his due diligence, and this is probably one of his best attributes as a coach.
Chieftain, we talked about it a little bit.
His due diligence.
Yeah. I think it's definitely added more fuel. I do think there is some level of Schotty, and he showed it with the offensive staff last year that he's willing to really get creative with some of the names and scour the football landscape to bring guys in. But I think that was definitely some added fuel there. Like, I would love to know off the record, Schotty, what were you saying to yourself inside whenever.
Yeah,
whenever,
F these guys.
Exactly. Like, I can't imagine that Schotty took too kindly to Jerry basically pinning Eberflus on him.
From a business perspective, you know this, Brian, Jerry looks at being associated with the Cowboys as tremendous value.
Oh, yeah.
So he's probably like, well, what? You're the Cowboys coach. You get all this positive attention and all this fame from being here. You can help me absorb this.
I think Jerry was listening to everybody talk about this and completely start to say, well, Jerry and Steven hired Eberflus. Yeah. You know, I mean, and I think this was Jerry's way of saying, okay, I'm about to set the record straight, even though it might not be true.
Yeah.
But,
put this on me.
Yeah, but he put it on Schotty pretty good. You know?
Yeah, Jerry also said it was one of the saddest things he ever had to do was letting go of Eberflus. So, I mean, you tell me, like, it just doesn't add up. I think Schotty was willing to sign off on Eberflus as a condition for getting the job.
Yeah, I do too. I absolutely think you're right about that. All right, I want to ask you guys we had the Dane Brugler mock draft today, and we did that a couple segments ago, or talked about a couple segments ago. I want to know the guys, like you say, Dawson, you and Wooly working on the draft. Eric, you could chime in if you want. If you
I'm a chimer.
No, go to Eric's first.
No, I mean this is. I'm gonna chime in on this
first.
But no, I want you to chime in on this.
Chime.
I'm going to ask you some names of some players. And I'm going to ask you if you're willing, if you do not want to trade away from these players.
So if this guy's there when you're picking,
if this
you
guy's
want to
there,
stand strong.
Do you want to
and
stand strong, or are you willing to back out of there?
Okay,
is what I'm going to ask.
Just make it up, Eric.
I will.
Okay, and I've got a few at 12, and I got a few at 20. But I think the 20, I think everybody is more willing to move back. But we'll see.
I'm out on both picks.
Okay. I know this one. All right, Dawson, how about you on this first one? How about Downs, the safety from Ohio State?
What the hell kind of question is crap? No, we're not trading away from Caleb Downs. I will fight somebody if they trade away from Caleb. I will quit being a fan.
What's the offer? I mean, I guess, and I'm going to ask the old question.
Are you willing? Yeah. Are you willing? I
would be very willing to take Caleb Downs.
You're very willing to take there.
He's a smart person.
Yeah.
You're right. How about Reese, the linebacker edge from Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, if he's somehow magically there at 12, I think that would be a gift from the draft gods. I don't know if he is an edge. I think he might be more of a linebacker, but I would love him at either spot, coming in like a Micah Parsons prospect.
What you know about him, Chief?
What you know about me?
What I know about him is he's seemingly like a top 5 player on everybody's board. So, and it's on the side of the ball that you want. So I'm
making a prediction here. He's going to be the most scrutinized player in this draft coming up. When it starts to be...
Is he an edge? Is he a linebacker?
Exactly.
What is he?
It's the same thing that happened to that guy. And Voch Lombardi made a great point today. It's the same thing with our guy at Colorado, Travis Hunter.
Oh, was he corner? Is he a wide receiver?
Well, they started slamming the kid. And where would you play him? He went from being the number 1 overall player to... They went back in the draft on him, right?
Yeah.
I think he went 2.
Yeah. Did he go 2?
Yeah.
Well, he
went... They traded back. They traded back, yeah. But the thing about it, he wasn't the number 1 pick.
No.
Everybody talked about him as being the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And he wasn't.
I could see teams saying all he does is be quick and run around the tackle, and there isn't enough like defensive line hand playing and counter moves, and like he's not really playing the position as much as he's an athlete exploding off the line and beating tackles. I mean, that's good enough for Micah Parsons. But if the right team is sitting there going, we don't want to risk that he's really a linebacker, so we're going to pass on him, and that happens a couple of times, maybe it's realistic.
So you're going to stand there and pick him, right?
I'm going to stand there and pick him, absolutely.
All right. How about Bain from Miami?
I'm staying and picking.
Yeah.
Staying and picking.
Bailey from Texas Tech?
Staying and picking.
I'm staying and picking.
McCoy from Tennessee?
Staying and picking.
It's the guy with the injury?
I'd flirt with a trade here.
Yeah, the injury is enough to
I'd flirt with a trade. I still wouldn't mind staying and picking him, but I think there's enough depth at corner that I'd listen to a call.
Okay. So, Chief, you're into moving?
Yeah, I'm into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dawson?
Yeah, I think Jermon McCoy is one of my favorite players.
Yeah,
I
get it.
After Reese, he might be my next favorite.
Yeah.
So you're staying?
Yeah.
I respect it. I'd listen to a call. Yeah, I'd listen to it. And I think McCoy's awesome. I think he's the best corner. I agree with you. That's going to be a tough one to stay away, but I'd listen just because I think that there's some other guys that, like Delane and him are right there for me.
Let's go with Delane. Delane next.
I'd listen to a call. If I did it for McCoy, I got to listen for Delane.
I think I got to watch more on Delane. There's just so few times he's targeted.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's takeaway guy. I think he might be kind of Byron Jonesy, where at least where Byron evolved to eventually, where the coverage is great, but I don't know if I'm getting takeaways there.
That's the Patrick Surtain problem.
That's
what people were saying, because nobody threw at him, right? So it's like, well, we see J.C. Horn, and he's getting the picks, but like Surtain was such a technician. Don't let that. I mean, I don't think that should be a knock on some of these corners. If people aren't throwing at you, that's a good thing. They respect you, and nobody's open.
Okay, my last one of the 12s, Malinois.
I love him, but I'd have to listen to a call. I don't know if they're going to be able to take a tackle. Can you get a first-round pick for next year? Because right now, and things can change. Next year's draft is looking sexy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is by all accounts the best tackle in the draft.
Yeah.
Some team is going to want him. I can get a haul for him.
So in this situation, the corners are gone and the edges are gone?
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to say, if that player was there, are you going to trade away from him?
I don't think I could trade away from Malinois. You know, I think you got to look at this situation like there's plenty of opportunities to improve your roster. You can't do it all in one, and a right tackle for the future. I don't think I could move away from him.
What you guys just told me is that you think the corners are the deepest point of this draft in the first round, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, edge is up there really nice too. I'm not sure, but I think there's great value at 12 if you want a corner, because there's going to be at least two, maybe all three of them there.
And they've slid. It's weird. The last couple drafts, the corners have slid.
I just got the thought that if Bain or Bailey were there, you guys aren't just interested in trading back.
I'm really thinking about trading back at 20. Because that's when the interesting conversation starts, and you're like, could we get a similar player at 40?
Well, that's what I'm thinking about with like Cisse, the corner from South Carolina, Terrell,
C.J. Allen.
At 20? Would you trade away from Love, the running back from Notre Dame?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would. And I think Jeremiah Love could be Jahmyr Gibbs but I would.
You just said Jahmyr Gibbs, Dawson.
Wow. I don't see it.
And he's going to trade away.
He's that explosive?
I think he is, absolutely. Yeah.
On the second level, I don't think he's explosive in the box. I think once he gets out there, he can house call.
I saw
doesn't have much juice in the box at all. Dak Wolchuk does not know what he's talking about with these players, Chief.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.